Well, folks, I'm back. My other video is processing, so by the time I upload one, I'll just be uploading one after another. So I'm going to try to keep these within a few minutes, so maybe more people will watch them if they're shorter. I don't know. Alright, so tomorrow, well, it's like almost 4:30 my time now in the morning. So later today, I have a rack of ribs, another rack of baby back ribs in the refrigerator that I'm going to do up, and I got a different kind of sauce, and I'm going to season them up really nicely and let them cook longer than the last batch did, and see if I can compare to get my technique down. I think we're expecting rain. I know my father-in-law might come by and pick up some tables and chairs that we borrowed when we had our cookout on Memorial Day. And, you know, Jamie can take that stuff down to him because where we live at is upstairs, and he's got issues where he can't really do the stairs. His legs get shaky, so, yeah, that's the big plans for today. And, I'm gonna try to watch a couple of movies and whatnot today. I don't really know. There's a few things that I want to see. Most new releases I can kind of find or rent online or you know, pay and download them or whatever. Well, it's not really, I don't really download movies, more like stream them, but I pay for the service, so, I mean, you just watch them. I'm one of these people that, up until this past season of The Walking Dead, and I didn't watch it from the very beginning, but when I started watching it, I watched it season by season on Netflix. And I would see the episodes, you know, they'd come on there, and I think one season, I don't think it was the first season, I think it was like the second or third season, Jamie and I were staying up in Chesapeake because he had to do inventory for work, so at the time we didn't have a way of him getting back and forth, and inventory's like really early in the morning before like the buses run, and he's relied on public transportation for a while, and you know, that was the issue then. And so we would stay out there. Well, the hotel we were staying in had Wi-Fi in the rooms. So while he went and did his inventory, we were there for probably two and a half days. I would sit in the room and I would start the season of The Walking Dead, and I would watch every episode on that season. And I gotta tell you, by the end of that weekend, I looked like I belonged on the show. I got home, I think I got home and maybe either watched one, or we got home that Sunday afternoon, and I had to go to bed. I had to go take a nap because I had literally sat and watched an entire season, and I binge watched it, and I didn't really get much sleep on those nights because at the time we didn't have internet at the house, and we were relying on our cell phones for it, and it was getting expensive. So I told myself after that I would never do that again. Well, fortunately today is Sunday, and before midnight Saturday night, granted it premiered early Friday morning, Orange is the New Black premiered. Well, I think it came on sometime here between 1 and 2 a.m., and I was watching the show, so I finished that show, and I watched 2 episodes. And then I went to bed, and I got up and did some chores around the house, and then I sat and watched a few more episodes. Let's see, that gets me to Friday afternoon, Friday evening. And then Jamie and I were chilling on the couch, and I watched another episode or 2. Then, went to bed. Well, I got up yesterday, Saturday, and, oh, well, actually, I didn't start it till the afternoon. and I just started watching it, and I think I finished it 8 o'clock something, I don't know. I binge watched that all weekend, but at least during that I took time and I went to bed and I, slept as best I could, and I did other stuff, but yeah, I finished that Saturday night. So, it was 13 episodes, and they were about 50-some minutes long, except for the last one. It was like a double episode. It was like an hour, 20, hour and a half, something like that. Anyways, yeah, because, some people, my husband was telling me, some people, they would, go to bed. They'd force themselves to go to bed Friday and take a long nap and get up when it's supposed to be premiering and then sit and watch every episode back to back. I couldn't do it. It was giving me a headache. I could only do a few at a time. So as soon as Orange is the New Black went off, there's this other show that's on Netflix called Wentworth. And I think Wentworth is, I think that's what it's called. It's an Australian women's prison show. And it's a little different than Orange is the New Black. Well, I mean, it's a lot different. They don't have all the stuff that Orange is the New Black has, or at least they don't show it to you. Well, I started watching it, and then I got to thinking, that was my holding pattern in between Orange is the New Black. Like, I could watch that and sort of hold off a little bit. Now I have to wait like another 9 months before the next season comes out. If it's gotten picked up for a 4th season, which I hope it did, but I don't know. I'm just hoping that next season, if it does come back, they focus less on the physical aspect of the women's relationships and more of their backstory and, what's going on, where they're at. For those of you who are not familiar with Orange is the New Black, it's about a women's prison. And when you have people of the same sex being in a prison together, not all the women are going to be straight. And some things you're going to see that you don't want to see, and some things you're going to look away and just desensitize yourself to or fast forward through just so you can get to the story parts. So, I found myself, kind of having that this season. There were certain aspects of it that was a little too, you kind of know when you watch something and it says viewer discretion is advised. Usually I'm like, yeah, whatever. This is one where I kind of wished that I could have, bleeped out some things. I mean, you knew what was going on, but I did not want to sit there and watch it. And I'd start doing something else if it was coming on like that. I'd, take a break, go, in the kitchen, or go to the restroom, or go do something, or just have a conversation, play a game, return a phone call, something like that, just so I didn't have to. I feel like I've been a little behind lately. I have a few phone calls I probably need to return tomorrow. I realized one of my brothers called me today and I forgot to call him back, and one of my sister-in-laws called me last weekend and I did not call her back. So, Barbara, if you're watching this, I owe you a phone call. It'll probably be soon. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or sometime in the next week. It just depends. It depends on what's going on around here, but I feel bad that I didn't call you back. I know we talked on Facebook or whatever, but it's just some days I don't feel like sitting on the phone and talking, and it's other days I get busy and I forget. And I did remember seeing it in my phone earlier today. So, our cell phones have been acting up this week, but that's not an excuse. I just honestly forgot to call you back, because when you did call me, I was sleeping. So, I don't even know if you're watching this, but if you are, Barbara, sorry. If you're not, then, I guess I'm just talking to talk. Okay, like, fave, subscribe, share. Megan Shepherd 81, Megan Shepherd 81 at gmail.com. Also, my husband Jamie's got a page, Lurch's Minions, at Lurch4297. If you have any comments or anything, Lurch4297 at gmail.com. Sorry, the camera fluctuates a little bit, so hopefully you got that. Alright,